This is the scene as you can see it live here, live, raw, and unfiltered on LiveNOW from Fox. Some movement as this happened about 2:30 this afternoon. So just about less than 8 hours as they are trying to rescue one man potentially buried up to his neck between two buildings in a potentially residential area. Of course, we're following this here on LiveNOW from Fox. Allentown, Pennsylvania, just a little bit north of Philadelphia and just a little bit west of New York City as well. So right there is we see some movement. So let's potentially listen in here on LiveNOW from Fox. You can potentially see the rescue there take place in Allentown, Pennsylvania. A elongated time frame, nearly 8 hours as this one man being rescued, and our cameras here on the scene live now from Fox watching as they're potentially pulling this man out of there. And we're also getting a live picture overhead, but we're going to stick with the shot real quickly as this man being rescued, being left on a potential stretcher there as they are moving here on LiveNOW from Fox. I want to get us out to an overhead shot as we continue as they are moving with a ambulance on the scene as this it was used to potentially rescue him. So this is a paramedics on the scene as this was an ordeal, some 8 hours as they are trench rescue taking place as we watched it live, raw, and unfiltered here on LiveNOW from Fox. You can see them potentially getting some medical help as this person was in the ground, buried up to their neck for some 8 hours. So quite an ordeal for all of those officials on the ground. We're also seeing this scene as potentially, hopefully, hearing from some people from Pennsylvania and Allentown. Let's listen in to this live, raw, and unfiltered on LiveNOW from Fox.
All right, who's going to speak? Let's stand in tight.
Yeah, because this is his
man, he's up.
Our microphone's over there. All right. This gentleman here is going to speak.
Who's talking?
Who's talking? You're talking, right, Captain?
I'm starting, yes.
All right, so let's have you step up just a little bit.
Turn the mic on there.
It's loud behind us, forgive us.
Yep.
Just your name and title to start.
John, J-O-H-N, Christopher, S-T-O-P-H-E-R, Captain Allentown Fire Department.
John Christopher.
What time was he? Just tell us now.
I got my time. We got them out of the trench and into the litter. I got 10:18 p.m.
Why couldn't he have just like walked out, climbed out? Why did we have to harness him out? Maybe
he spent over 8 hours buried in a trench. We don't know the extent of his injuries. I don't know that his legs would have permitted him to be carried to walk out on his own power. So we don't really, after the ordeal he suffered, we don't really want him doing anything on his own until he's checked out by medical personnel, and that's where he's being transported right now to Lehigh Valley, Cedar Crest.
Can you tell us what, if anything, he said?
It wasn't that much of a complainer. I mean, we treated him. We with the emphasis on the weather, we were worried, hypothermia, so we the trench was heated. We monitored the atmosphere, the air quality in the trench at the whole time. He was given fluids and he was given just general pain medication while he was in the trench. So the whole time he was in the trench, he was under the paramedics' care.
What did he say when he was getting pulled out? And he say
That I don't know. I wasn't that close. And honestly, once we got everything rigged up and decided to haul, it literally took a couple minutes.
His family was able to communicate with him?
On a couple different occasions during the ordeal, yes.
Can you just talk about how difficult it was? You talked about how they were digging him out using buckets, their kind of hand digging. Just talk about the difficulty of just getting him out.
That's exactly what it is. It's just a methodical process. It's your use of. You'd like to use heavy equipment, but you're limited because you can't really use it in relation to in the vicinity of the victim. You don't want to make matters worse. I have John Hamill. He's a member of our technical rescue team. He was in charge of much of the operation. He can answer a lot of that. I do want to, at this time, like I said, I want to introduce the mayor of the city of Allentown, Matt Turk.
Okay, Mayor.
Yeah, and we don't want to lose John Hamill. This is the guy who did the real work here.
Can you come in, John?
Yeah, John. I think John can probably answer the question.
John, what was the biggest risk here?
Name and title first. John, sorry.
Jonathan Hamill. I'm the Technical Rescue Team Commander.
What's your last name, John?
Hammel.
What was the biggest risk here?
The biggest risk is a secondary collapse of the trench itself. The ground was unstable from the excavation to begin with. That's what we presume caused the incident to begin with. So we took a lot of extra steps and safety precautions to prevent that from happening again.
How small was the hole that he was kind of working through right now to get him out? I was told it wasn't very big.
It was approximately maybe 30 inches in width and I don't know about length, ballpark, and maybe 12 to 15 feet.
In your career, have you ever seen something like this? I mean, how dangerous was this to you?
Honestly, this is something that myself, I've only performed in training. So this is my first time doing this live rescue to this extent. I believe it was approximately 12 feet.
How did the conditions play a factor in how you operated, how you dealt with him?
We were actually very fortunate with the soil. It was fairly stable. The way it collapsed, we had multiple void spaces around his body, which did make the conditions for him a lot better. We have good access all around 4 sides of the trench, so we were able to warm him, get him the medical care from the team doctors as well as the team paramedics, and then all the rescue personnel.
When you say warm him, can you just tell us just what?
We use forced hot air through heaters that are specially adapted for rescue. It's just a propane heater, but like I said, it's something special for us. That's how we heated the trench itself, and then we also had blankets down in the hole with him, and we also initiated IVs, and we're running warm fluids into his body. Initially, he was really, really cold. He still said he was cold throughout the entire rescue operation, but his body temperature did come up.
Was he talking to you? What
Yep,
was he saying?
the entire
what was he
time.
saying to you guys?
Yeah,
what were you saying to him?
We just keep a constant communication with the patient so that we know that they're mentating correctly and that they're informed of everything that we're doing, because it's loud, it's scary. They can't see a whole lot, especially in the beginning when only his head was visible. Just basically reassuring him, explaining what was going on, and then seeing if he had any needs and asking him, some personal questions that we don't need to put on the news.
Let me ask you this. I mean, he was essentially buried alive up to his chin. I mean,
Correct.
The probability of both men making it out in relatively good condition. How would
I have no idea what that probability is. I am not a casino person.
People are called heroes. I've heard that word miracle. How would you describe today? Are they lucky? What would you say?
I think that everything that could be on his side was on his side. And then it's just hats off to a good team, not only the Allentown Fire Department, the Lehigh County Special Operations Team, We have the city of Scranton down to assist us, as well as the Allentown paramedics, the doctors from Lehigh Valley Hospital. It was a big team effort, and without all those facets, it may not have gone as successful as it did.
And quickly, how was this for the crews? I mean, this is challenging for you as well. I know it's what you do, but
yeah, I mean it's challenging. We've got great support here. We've got a rehab that came in to provide us food. Most of us carry bags with multiple changes of clothing because obviously we transferred from 40-degree daytime temperatures to whatever the heck it is now, but see your breath cold. So those challenges are there, and a lot of us don't want to take a break. That's probably the biggest challenge, is getting the guys to stop for a sec, go hydrate, get a bite to eat, and then come back to work, because we all...
You do hands and shovels down there?
Yes.
Is that what you were doing?
Yes.
So, because you couldn't use machines, right? Obviously.
No, because we didn't know his exact body location, so we don't want to use anything mechanical, because a machine can't feel like we can. We even hesitate to go too aggressive with shovels because we don't know where his limbs were.
You were sucking the dirt out too, I
Yes, the vac machine, I believe that was UGI. That was instrumental. That sped this process up by probably a couple hours.
What did the vac machine do?
It actually sucked the dirt out of the hole.
Okay.
So we shored the trench and then brought that machine in to help excavate the dirt.
and I know you all probably couldn't hear this, but the applause, the cheer, some people who have been out here for hours, rooting you on and rooting for this man.
I heard a little bit of it as we were carrying him to the ambulance.
Thanks,
Thank y'all.
I mean, how would you describe it? Two men go buried alive, both are okay. What's today capped off for you?
My day started off early. There was a house fire next to my house, so I was up at 4 a.m. and I saw a lot of these guys out working that house fire at 4 a.m. And then I got the call to come over here at 4 p.m. today, and we've been out here watching them work for the past 6+ hours. They had put 2 hours in. So it's been an exhausting day for me, and I didn't do half as much as they did. They put in a ton of work, and to see all the teamwork today, it was the awesome work of the fire department and of our paramedics with support from other departments, but also our police department doing crowd control, our streets department, our stormwater department came in and helped out a ton. This is just a big team effort, so that's how we do things in Allentown. It was exciting.
And your name, Mayor?
Matt Turk, Tuerk.
Okay.
What they were doing to begin with the trench that was dug back
They were doing some plumbing work for the homeowner.
Yeah. Let's go warm up.
Do we have time to do that? Because I feel like they might want to come back to us.
You were just listening into some of those remarks there out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, and you were listening to the mayor there as this rescue unfolded just a little bit ago. After 8 hours, you heard they rescued this man as he was basically buried alive, as they didn't want to use anything mechanical to rescue the workers from the trench. So I want to put up a tweet here from the mayor, who we just listened to here on Live Now from Fox, as he was giving a little bit of detail on social media, saying that obviously this initiative used in the Chilean miner extractions to teach us to aim high, team up, fail well, learn fast, and repeat the incredible public safety and public work teams in Allentown living that right now. Of course, relating to that rescue in the Chilean mine some time ago, some 33 people, I want to say, in that mine. Here's also another tweet. He wants to thank the Scranton, Pennsylvania mayor as well, their fire department, for helping Allentown's trench team there on the ground. And they just were talking about the variety of people that were helping this, as it is a cold day there in the Northeast making this rescue. I want to take us right back out to the rescue one more time here on Live Now from Fox before we take a quick break, just to see the moment one more time as this man, this worker, was rescued from some 12 feet underground as he is being pulled out, taken away in an ambulance after this on a stretcher. They were using hands and shovels, and you can just see the amount of work there, the amount of volume of people on the scene as all of these officials and fire departments helping rescue this person some 8 hours after it began on about 2:30 in the afternoon. just there north of Philadelphia in the Northeast. You can see the amount of people getting help, and they were monitoring the weather, monitoring the air quality as they were doing some plumbing work between this residential area. It was between a couple buildings. There were 2 people initially trapped. One person was able to get out with a ladder. The other person obviously not, as we watched this unfold for 8+ hours as they finally rescued this man from the trench in Allentown, Pennsylvania.